day, and welcome to another episode of Fit Frequency Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Taylor. This podcast is dedicated to self-improvement, self-awareness, stories of overcoming, education on the latest in healthy living, focusing on the mind, body, and spirit, conversations with subject matter experts and everyday people and their journey through this crazy thing we call life. If you have questions, guys, we just set this up. Suggestions for future guests, comments, concerns, please email us at fitfrequency@snapfitness.com. That is fitfrequency@snapfitness.com. Today's guest, we have the CEO of Nothing But Hemp, Steve, and Stephen Brown. Eva Droz, make sure I get this right, Vice President of Retail Marketing or Retail?
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
That's a fancy Vice President. We got the CEO. And then we have, I'm sure this name, Giovan?
It's called Giovan Jenkins.
Giovan Jenkins.
Yeah,
and Giovan, what is your title?
I am the president.
He's the Perez. All right. So we've got subject matter experts, Nothing But Hemp. Let's talk about your background, and then we'll fast forward to your business. And then we're going to get into this wonderful conversation on CBD oil and all the benefits and misconceptions of the general population. And we're gonna dispel some of those today. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right.
Sounds great.
So Steve, Stephen or Steve?
Stephen's fine.
All right,
yeah.
Stephen. So your background,
So
I know your background, but
so my background, I was in the Marine Corps for some time, and after I got out of the Marine Corps, I joined GNC, and I worked for General Nutrition Center for a long time ago, about 16 years ago, and I met Eva Droz here, and so we worked together for years, and then I found myself into running retail locations in the wireless industry, moving up as a regional sales director, and then later on, one of my own as an entrepreneur, and started a training company as a consultant and trained other retail locations. And then I got into a marketing position later on working for Blue Star Productions. We had a traveling animatronic dinosaur show that would go across the country, and I was the head of marketing for that company, and then we sold it to Circus Olay. So that's kind of my background there. And then I started a marketing agency and found myself in the cannabis industry. So I had a big cannabis cultivation company that contacted my agency, and I'd live in California every other week working for one of the largest cultivation facilities, and they also own dispensaries. So we helped open up dispensaries, sell them to MedMen, and it was just a phenomenal experience. I left that contract, and my partner here, Jenkins, we came up with this crazy idea of opening up hemp shops because we saw it out in Nevada, and here we are. We have now 9 locations. Some of them are affiliates, and the rest are corporate-owned locations, and we keep on growing.
So before we go into Eva, I'm going to Jenkins.
Yeah,
because I
go by Jenks. I do.
Jenks?
I go by Jenks.
All right.
My coach.
You're all right with that?
Yeah, I love Jenks.
All right, Jenks.
Not too many Giovanni.
Because I don't want to butcher that first name. That's a cool
fine.
name.
That's
but,
work.
before we move on, I was going to ask you a question, but I think you already answered it.
Yeah.
You ever see yourself as an entrepreneur? And you
Oh my
nailed
gosh!
it. You nailed
all my
right?
life,
Right?
all my life.
And again, what made you take that leap of faith, that jumper? We're going to get into this with Jenkins and Eva here, and we're going to move forward. What was that?
I remember I was working for AT&T at the time in the wireless industry, and I remember looking out the window, and I felt like I was a fish that was stuck in a fish tank, and I couldn't get out.
Or a hamster on that wheel.
Yeah, and I was just
the same thing every day,
stuck.
right?
And I was like, you know what? I can move up, but I'm not going to do the things that I want to do the way that I want to do it. And I didn't always agree with the way that corporate America worked and some of their systems in place. And I wanted to be creative. And so that's why I became an entrepreneur, because I thought, hey, there's some problems out there and I can fix those issues.
So specifically, before we move on, because I want to hear from you guys, I want to hear your story. As a business owner, it's challenging. Has that helped you grow as a person?
Absolutely. This is my 4th business. I failed 2 of them. One of them was really successful, and this one's very successful too. But going through those failures really promote growth. So
there's a great book called Failing Forward by John Maxwell. And he talks about the fear of failure, and that fear, that acronym is false evidence appearing real. Mm. So thank you for sharing that. A lot of people don't want to I want to hear not only success, but did we learn from the failure? I think Thomas Edison, and don't quote me, fact check me, but he had so many failed inventions before the light bulb. But what if he would have quit?
Yeah.
Probably still have light bulb. Think about that, right?
Yeah.
And so what if you guys didn't decide, because you opened the door and dreams for other people. So I love it. I love it. Big dreams. How do you stay passionate about what you're doing? I can tell the passion's oozing from all three of you. But I mean, it's easier said than done, right? Because you got a lot of stuff going on. Family, kids, bills, leases.
I love that
expectations.
I love that we're helping people. That's the number one thing, is that I can see that these products really help people. And my father died from pharmaceuticals. So I have this big thing. I have a personal story to it. And I don't want other people to go through that same thing. I really don't think Big Pharma has our best interests in mind. I do think there's certain medicines people should take, but I also think that opioids, come on now, 70,000 people died from it. No one dies from cannabis.
Right.
So I'm a big proponent of something that actually works and doesn't just mask the problem.
Right.
So
Stephen, thank you. Thank you for sharing that story. That's the emotional reason. With the industry that I'm in for 35 plus years, it may sound corny, but I've been in this industry that long because we can change lives. Yeah. We can do things preventative, not reactive.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
True. I mean, I still need to make money, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I've been able to, someone once said to me, and I know you've heard this, is that when you love what you're doing, it's never a job.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And you shared with me just a few minutes ago in our listening audience of how you felt trapped. Mm-hmm. So we move on to Eva. I met Eva at a GNC.
Yes.
And we live in the same community, so I see you every once in a while at a restaurant. You're busy. I mean, you've got like children. How many children do you have again?
So I have 4 kids.
Yeah, you have 4 children.
Yes, and a 13-year-old plus a baby. So edge of puberty plus a busy 2-year-old is a very hard combination.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, just share your background a little bit. Stephen mentioned a little bit about GNC and where you I think 3 things people always want to know. I do too, as a fitness professional or a trainer. But where you been? What brought you to today? But more importantly, where you going?
Yeah.
So if you can share those 3 things.
Well, the cool thing is Stephen actually brought me into the supplement industry back when I was 19 years old. I was actually selling cell phones at a kiosk in a mall right in front of a GNC store. And this guy kept coming up to me and he said, "Hey, do you want to work for GNC?" And I said, "No, I'm not interested." And he kept pursuing it. So finally I started working there and I just fell in love with the supplement industry. I've always believed in preventive care and taking care of yourself. So I've just grown from there. I actually stuck with the supplement industry. So I've been doing this for 15 years now. And one thing that I haven't seen yet until recently is cannabis. And following the whole industry, it really hit home for me when I started seeing it work for people. I had an employee who was in a lot of pain. She was taking a lot of different herbs and they would take the edge off and they would help. But when she found CBD, it was a totally different level. And for myself, using the product, as you know, I have 4 kids, like I just mentioned, and that can be very, very stressful. Now, for myself, I've never suffered with depression or anxiety, but I have noticed I'm less reactionary with my kids. I don't swear at them as much. I'm more patient with them. I've been sleeping better.
She said less reactionary. I love it because I know that's the stress that we have, right? That's good.
Yes. Well, for myself, I had 3 kids. I got divorced. I raised them as a single mother and I was a working mother. So I still worked full time. So just dealing with that and then now having another child, a baby again, starting over, but still working. And I love that I'm able to work and also parent. I love the fact that I'm helping people, and that I can help other parents, and that I can still live my dream and be the best mom that I can be at the same time. And cannabis has changed my life since I started using it about a year ago when Stephen and I first had this conversation and this became available. It's just been amazing. So the fact that we get to bring this amazing compound and explain to people how to use it properly, what it does, how to read the labels, and to just kind of clear through that confusion for everyone has been amazing. And I've been in the retail industry the past 15 years. And to me, I'm a retail girl at heart. I love to be able to walk into a store and have a personal conversation with somebody. And we've all seen it. Online is taking over. They say shop online. And a part of me dies inside when I see that.
It's interesting you say that because the high tech and high touch, the marriage between both, I am an old school guy.
Yeah.
I'm an old guy. I'm much older than you. But I like what you're saying there is that we have to have marriage between both.
Yeah.
Too much high tech, we lose that human element. That, for instance, we could have done this interview over the phone, but here it's better because we're talking to one another, and I never want to lose that. So yeah, for sure, because you can, and we'll talk more in this segment about your business and the model that you have, where you can go online or you can shop in the store and that type of thing. So yeah.
And I've spent so many years what I call in the aisles. So a lot of my job in the supplement industry was really developing personal relationships with my customers, learning their stories, learning what they're dealing with on a daily basis, what medications they're on, what medications they want to get off, and they actually want to start healing themselves. So I'm very personal with my customers. So when I talked to Steven and he wanted to do retail, I got so excited because I love retail. I love face-to-face. I love being able to sit down with people who come in, talk to them about why they're taking it, and then go from there because it's very specific to the individual. So the fact that we get to have that individual experience with everyone every day and then start to hear their stories and their feedback is absolutely amazing.
That's your jam, Stephen. You're lucky. Yeah.
It is.
They're hard to find. I say people like Eva that actually get it and they're really good at listening. You mentioned something just a few seconds ago about catching their story.
Yeah.
Everyone has a story if we're willing to listen and not say this is what you need, but they'll tell you what they need and then you repeat it.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Jenks over here, I can tell I want to talk, man.
I'm good, man. I've talked for so long. I've talked for so long. Yeah.
So president of Nothing But Hemp, you shared your background again with me, but share it with our listening audience, a little bit of your background and where you're at today.
So I'm coming from education. I'm an 18-year educator at the high school and college level. Football coach is what my passion is, and currently has taken a backseat to this business venture with Steven and Eva. So I'm leaving education after 18 years for business.
You're all Minnesota born and bred? No. Yes. No. You like this? Because
I am. Yeah.
I'm gonna check you right now.
I am.
All
yes.
Right. Are you Viking fans?
I am. Yes.
Yes.
Steve,
I couldn't even tell you who plays on, on the team.
You are a Viking fan. Yeah, you're a Viking fan.
Yes.
I follow you.
My two boys are huge Viking fans.
Go.
Yeah.
That nothing to do with anything, but it's just me. Yeah. Squirrels. Back to their program.
Yeah. Squirrel.
He's like, you're a Viking.
Yeah. All righty. Hey, it's about having fun, right?
Right.
It's about having fun. So again, the question was, where you've been, where you're at today, and more importantly, where you're headed. You're listening to Fit Frequency Podcast. Your host, Brad Taylor, and we have three wonderful guests, Eva Droz, Stephen, help me out with your last name.
Brown.
Gosh, come on, BT.
Like the color.
Stephen Brown and Jenks. And we're going to take a quick break, quick time out. We'll be back, and I'm going to ask some really in-depth questions on CBD and dispel some of those myths. We'll be right back.
The Evolution Challenge has returned. On September 7th, begin your 8-week journey to a stronger you. Take on the Snap Fitness Evolution Challenge to evolve your health. Compete against the members of Snap Nation as you rack up points, climb the leaderboards, and earn the opportunity to win big prizes like a free 6-month Snap Fitness membership or $1,000 in cash. When you sign up for the Evolution Challenge, you'll also gain access to a supportive, private Facebook community where you'll receive exclusive workout plans, trainer tips, healthy recipes, and more. So it's time to ask yourself, are you in? Don't miss out on your opportunity to get fit, fast this fall. Visit your club before September 7th to register. See official rules at snapfitness.com/challenge rules. And not a Snap Fitness member yet? Visit snapfitness.com to find your nearest club and get started today.
All right, we're back with our wonderful guest, Stephen Brown. Jenks, he's the president. Stephen Brown's a CEO, and Eva Droz is vice president of retail and development and marketing. Maybe I said development, just added that or whatever. So Steve is like,
perfect. Yeah, operations.
So let's jump into what is CBD. And I know it's very elementary. You're looking at me like, but they're listening. What is it?
So CBD is short for cannabidiol, and cannabidiol is an active compound found in hemp, which is in the cannabis family. So it's one of over 150 different endocannabinoids found in cannabis. So in short, we all have an endocannabinoid system, and it's a series of receptors that communicate with each other. So in short, CBD helps your body to create balance and to communicate with itself properly.
Great. Another question. I know you guys are looking at me like, hey, could I get high from CBD oil?
No.
That's a hard no.
No.
Thank you. That's all we need to, that's an easy one, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you cannot get high from
You cannot
CBD.
get high
Okay.
from CBD.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is it legal?
Is it legal? It depends on the state.
Okay.
But I would like to say there's 46 states that I would consider it being legal. So it's federally legal. There's a farm bill that passed that President Trump signed over that allowed the production of industrial hemp, and for as long as the hemp or cannabis is under 0.3%, it's completely legal.
Okay. Another question. Just going to fire questions at you. Why is the general public confused? We talked about it a little bit before our break, but just, let's not go too granular, but Steven's like, I got this one. I got this.
Yeah, so
all of you.
People are confused because cannabis looks like cannabis, right? So if you have a marijuana plant next to a hemp plant, it's going to most likely look the same. And so it smells the same. It pretty much tastes the same. The only difference is one is properly developed for high CBD content, where another one is developed for high THC content, which gets you high. Now, THC and both CBD have really good remedies for all different types of ailments. But depending on, the type of ailment that you might have, THC might be a better one for you, or CBD might be a better one. So people that have cancer are typically moved to THC. Higher THC content, also with CBD in there, that's really going to help that patient out a lot better.
That's the term medicinal, and that is a prescription.
Yep, and there's
versus
also
okay.
Yep, there's
Why
also
don't you
a
just hit on
prescription
that?
too
Yeah.
when it comes down to CBD. So the products that we carry, so Siskiyou Sungrown is a big supplier of ours. We have an exclusive relationship with them. We have a joint venture agreement. So we're almost like one of the same company together. And so they supply their Siskiyou Sungrown products to us, but they also supply it in the medical world. So they were on the medical marijuana side of the business about 9 years ago. And over the last few years, got into the recreational side. And we just happened to be on the recreational side because of the new 2018 Farm Bill.
Medical community. Any one of you guys can answer these. Why are the medical community so slow to change?
Just being in the supplement industry as long as I have, what I've seen on the medical side is the medical community is educated on how to prescribe. They are not educated on how to heal. Cannabis, CBD, it's actually going to the root of the issue and helping your body to fix that issue. It's helping your body to heal itself. It's not just putting a Band-Aid on.
So treating not the symptom, so to speak, but that too, but really the cause.
Yeah.
Where if I've got a headache, here's Advil. My body's a wonderful machine. And my body's telling me that something's not right, but I'm masking the symptom.
Yep.
Correct?
Yep.
Is that okay?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. What else? Is it addictive? Is CBD addictive?
No. It is not. It's non-psychoactive and it's not addictive. It's not like an opioid where you have to have it every single day. You kind of have to remind yourself to take it. Just like taking your multivitamin in the morning that, hey, if you take this multivitamin, you're going to feel better for a long period of time. So it's the same thing.
All right.
It's a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
Just getting used to something different. Like, I like it to, if you've worked out, for me, I've been working out forever, so it's like brushing my teeth, but a person that's never worked out before, it's like, I got to get used to it. Creating a habit, knowing when to take it. Yeah. Mental health and anxiety. Lots of people that I know and my family and people that I work with, the day and age, we live in this fast-paced, everything's moving 100 miles an hour. There's a lot of anxiety.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's our number one reason that people are walking into our shops. Anxiety is one of those things that people react to. It comes on in many types of forms. People can't do everyday things because of anxiety. And when
it's very debilitating.
It's very debilitating. So that is a client of ours that comes in and sees the results from it immediately almost. Because some of these people can't even walk into public places. They take the dropper. They smoke the vape, which is quicker, but it's smaller amounts. It's considered microdosing, but sometimes that's all they need to take the edge off. These people can now go shopping, go to malls, go to restaurants, do things that some of us take for granted because of their heightened anxiety. And the anxiety piece alone is something that keeps people just in their house. So to get a person to be able to leave their house, to come to you, to talk to you about their ailment, and then you give them a comfort level from a product that is organic has been phenomenal to see. The anxiety client is really, really interesting because that ends up being one of your loyal clients, as well as that severe lack of sleep client. That's another one that comes in a lot regularly. That's having a lot of success.
Both those go together quite often. I'm sure you find that out. In the fitness industry, the same thing. We always talk about proper sleep, hydration, flexibility, recruitment of your core.
Yep.
What are you eating? Your diet, nutrition. Abs are not made in the gym; they're made in the kitchen. So all of that. And I know you're all proponents of. It's true, though, right? And even though I just want to make sure that CBD oil is great, but you still need to eat right. You still need to exercise. You still need to sleep. If you have a problem sleeping, part of that's being the anxiousness that people experience in some form or fashion. We talked about it to be debilitating, but also for the economy, absenteeism, work comp issues, insurance, all of those things. If we can do a better job educating the general population, which you guys are, and I commend you for it, we're gonna fight that and win that battle. It's a battle. It's a big battle, right?
Yeah, it is.
But just every day, inch by inch, a cinch, yard by yard, it's hard.
Yep.
So what can we do today to change somebody's life tomorrow? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is such good information. Can you travel with CBD? Can you cross the border with CBD?
Depends on the state, and it also depends on the TSA agent. Typically, a lot of people do travel with it. Yeah, there has been some issues of certain states, for example, Texas, where they've confiscated some CBD oil, and also in Florida. But it has to do with the TSA members not actually being educated on this product, and so they get confused.
Make sure that we say we're not giving any legal advice here.
Yes, definitely not giving
consult with your attorney, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Any other types of with CBD skin issues at all? We talked about anxiety. We talked about sleep. Other benefits from CBD. I mean, sure, there's more than what we've talked about. Maybe not.
So I'll just jump in this one right now. The body oil that Siskiyou Sungrown makes, it's a 500 milligram product. It is one of the best products I've ever seen on the market due to the fact that it coats very well. It's concentrated. It has a very good smell, pleasant smell to me. That's kind of, opinion. But it's phenomenal. It's my new lotion. It really is. From head to toe, when I take my CBD orally and I take it topically, externally and internally, it's just maximum comfort. It really is. And I don't think you can put a price on maximum comfort if you're a person who is active, that works out, that has just maybe aches and pains, inflammation, knees, shoulders. The products that we have in our shops specifically, the ones we're speaking of, I believe are second to none of anything on the market.
Yeah.
With that, I have heard that you got to be careful in what kind of CBD oil you're buying.
Yes.
Product, not just oil. Why don't you speak on that? Because I know you guys work with a company out of Oregon.
Yep. Right. So we actually go to the farms that send us products. So we have a very close relationships with our suppliers. We want to make sure to see what their manufacturing processes are. So similar to the supplement industry, you can still make sure that the manufacturer that you're working with is GMP certified, ISO certified. The labs that they're working with are ISO certified. And that way, there's some type of they're governed in some sort of way to make sure that you're getting a good product. A lot of times that you're seeing is you have these massive CBD companies that are coming out of, China. And China, what happens with hemp is hemp's an amazing plant. And it's so amazing it actually cleans the environment. But if it cleans the environment, it can actually suck up all the toxins. And then it's actually in your your CBD products. So in China, you're getting a lot of metals and lead that are getting sucked up into these plants and pesticides. So it's really important that you make sure that if you are going to buy CBD, that they practice that organic practices, that is coming from a licensed facility.
Thank you for mentioning that, Stephen. I travel a lot. I've seen CBD. Get your CBD oil here and there, wherever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm like, I'm going to go to you guys because, first of all, I know Eva. I trust her. But I also know legit. I'm just, again, I'm not here to.
We're going to do the work for you. We're going to do all.
So you just be mindful if you're a consumer because they're popping up. Even in my small town, all over, and I'm like, go talk to you guys at Nothing But Hemp.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're the experts, right?
Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you.
Wow, great information. Great information here, guys.
Perfect. So you can find us at www.nothingbuthemp.net. Again, that's www.nothingbuthemp.net. We have 4 corporate locations here in Minnesota: Uptown, Grand Avenue, Forest Lake, and Maplewood. And we also have an affiliate location out in Cloquet that is open, and another one in Tampa, in Westshore, Tampa. And then we have actually 4 more opening up throughout Minnesota and North Dakota.
So the first cities you mentioned, because we have people listening from all over, those are all in Minnesota.
Minnesota. Correct.
But the other day we had 122 heat index. In January we had 59 below. It was 171 degree temperature change. That's hard on the body. Give me some CBD oil.
Somebody that.
Right? I mean, think about that, guys.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Wow.
You live in a place where you can go 100 degrees difference.
Yeah.
Crazy. My name is Brad Taylor, Fit Frequency Podcast. Thanks for joining. Again, if you have questions, it's fitfrequency@snapfitness.com. Jenks, Eva, Stephen, thank you so much for coming in today. Anything else? Anything at all?
I say thanks for having us.
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. As always, I want to thank our producer. This is so good. She dots the I's, cross the T's. I make a mess, and she makes sure she puts it in the bowl. So, Mackenzie, thank you for our producer. And, thanks for joining us. We'll have another episode soon. So, be well and peace.